Hey everybody! If you've watched any of my videos before, welcome back. This is great. If this is your first time, welcome, even better. Please subscribe to my channel. I hope that I provide you with anything that will help you in overcoming narcissistic abuse. I don't even know where to start. What a wacky day this has been. It's like the afternoon right now, almost 3 o'clock, and I was ready to do a video this morning on a totally different topic that coordinated with my Instagram feed about the golden child and the scapegoat. Well, things have changed. So it all started yesterday. We'll start there. So my narcissistic mother found herself alone, I guess, on that beautiful day by the pool. And she was like, "Oh, what are you guys doing? I miss you. I would love to see you and the girls, our daughters." Here's the thing about them as well, that my narcissistic parent, mother, and my enabling father, they'll only call like the day of. They don't make plans in advance because they don't want to commit to anything. That the world is at their whim. If they want to see you, they'll see you. If they don't want to see you, they just don't bother. So she contacted me yesterday morning. "Oh, it's a beautiful day. Why don't you guys come over and use the pool?" And my husband and I had plans. We had our friends and family coming over for a group reading, which I live for. Our son passed away, Joey, back there, and mediums are the only thing that brought me sanity initially, when I was destroyed. But then I learned that they're not gone. People that pass are not gone. They're still here. We can still communicate with them. We are all energy. They're just not in a physical body. Anyway, so we had a group reading yesterday, and it was awesome. And I was so intent on not including my narc mother, because she always just assumes like she's included in everything because she's my mom. She gets that pass, right? But she brings such a negative cloud that I just wanted to have a good time and to be myself with my friends and family. So I didn't tell her about it, didn't include her. And this has been a process. As you might know, if you've watched my other videos and you read my Instagram feed, I'm healing. I just learned that there is this name, this category for my narc mother, and that there's a category to describe the shitty feeling I grew up with and the terrible negativity that surrounds my family of origin, my parents, and my sibling. I have no contact with my older brother, which is awesome, and I love it. So I'm trying to cut down on contact with my narc mom because she's so toxic. And so is my enabling dad, because he will defend her to the death. Like, he supports everything about her. He kisses her butt, like all that. So, been trying to distance myself. As I have said as well, though, we do have 2 small daughters. And our daughters are 6 years old and 8 years old. And they're beautiful and perfect and innocent. And they don't know any better. So, they love my parents. And they want to, we want them to maintain a relationship, I guess. I mean, if it was up to me, I would go no contact and skip off into the sunset with my husband and our beautiful children. But I am in this wheelchair. We want to move. Oh my goodness, we have all these fantasies. But the situation is what it is, so we're just trying to navigate it the best that we can. So just trying to gray rock her. I have successfully not spoken to her on the phone or engaged in text or anything like that. And again, we never see them because they don't care enough to make us a priority or to be involved in our lives or our children's lives. It's always on their terms. So it hasn't been too bad. She's very covert, manipulative. Like, it's not physical abuse. It's more like emotional and mental, like systematic, like just cutting me down and all of that. So anyway, so I said yesterday, I said, thank you, but we have plans. I denied the invitation. So that was the first. So she doesn't write back because that's what children do when they don't get their way, right? That's what narcissists do when they don't get their way. She did not respond to my gracious decline for the invitation. So today, I get a text first thing this morning. So Michelle, listen, I'm off from work. Let's spend the day together. And then throwing around the love word. I love you, I miss you, and I want to see the kids. Why don't you guys come over, spend the day swimming? So, no part of me wants anything to do with any of that. And my husband had to work today. So I don't drive, and I can't really do a lot of things without him. So all of those factors, in addition to the fact that I don't want anything to do with them, I was like, I don't want to deal with this, like, because I know the way she is, and she's always a victim, and she'll always carry on and try to, turn me into the bad guy, whatever. So I did not respond to her call. She called and left a voicemail this morning, and then she texted me, and I didn't respond to that. So then she puts my enabling father up to it, and he Skypes the kids. And whatever he does, like I said, my husband and I, we just cherish our children, and we just want to do what's best for them. And like I said, we're navigating this whole thing with my toxic parents. And so my daughter happened to be standing right by me, and my dad starts calling, and I was like, oh, you want to talk to Pop? So what does he do? Right away, they get on the phone. You want to come swimming? And I was like, no. So they're like, yeah, they're kids, they get excited. So I was like, sure. So this is insane. So my narc mother texts my husband to make sure he's working and he's not going to be home. So he wrote her back that he was at work. And so she comes over with my enabling father, knowing that I am by myself with our children and that she can corner me. Because that's what she always looks to do, is to isolate me so that she can try to cut me down like she's always done. So my dad comes in, and, he doesn't communicate. He was like, what's the matter? What's going on with your mom? And I was like, oh, here we go. I was like, nothing, I'm good. Because trying to confront a narcissist or trying to tell them they're a narcissist is insanity. You'll just keep beating your head against the wall and getting the same result, which is them denying any and all accountability whatsoever. They take no ownership for their actions, their shitty behavior, their poor treatment of you. So telling them they're narcissists is just useless. So I have, as the black sheep, attempted to point out, the problems within this family, my parents and whatever the dynamic involving me. And I've always been like, you did this and I don't like it. And it always ends up the same way. They always try to turn it around on me, and somehow I become the bad guy, and somehow I placate everyone by I don't even know what happens. But usually the blame ends up somehow on me. They never apologize or, assume responsibility for any of their actions. So But I'm just at a place finally where I am done with it. I feel so good about where I am, and I'm trying desperately to heal myself from emotional trauma, mental trauma, and I'm physically suffering. So I'm doing everything that I can to get to a better place. And spiritually, like, your spiritual body is so much stronger than your physical body. So anyway, part of my efforts are protecting myself from my narcissistic mom. She has been nothing but toxic to me my whole life, stabbing me in the back, doesn't stand up for me. Just, I could riddle down a list. There's just a slew of examples of ways that she has undercut me or done bad things to me. So then she comes in, and she's always, the poor little victim. I'm so mean, and she's all disheveled. So she comes in behind my dad, and mind you, my children are here excited about going swimming. So she comes in, she's got no makeup on, she's looking so sorry and sad, and, because I've clearly hurt her. So she comes in, Michelle, let's talk. Let's go in the other room. And I'm like, no, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm sitting here. I'm going to stay here. I'm good. And she was like, Michelle, let's talk. And I was like, no, I am good. And like I said, I'm desperately trying to navigate this without going no contact completely for the sake of our children. And I'm just trying to do the right thing. And a lot of victims of narcissistic abuse struggle with the idea that we're not bad people, right? Like, we're not jerks. And it's hard to see someone looking so pathetic and, in a bad place or whatever. You don't want to hurt people. But at the same time, you have to assert yourself and stick up for yourself and enforce your boundaries, because that's the only way to protect yourself from a narcissist. So that's what I'm trying to do. So again, banging my head against the wall, like, over all these years that I've tried to confront her about gross injustices that she has, she's done things against me. So I was like, I'm done. I'm good. And she just would not stop. So this led me to this video, and I did a little research. There's two types of moms. There's an engulfing mother, and there is an ignoring mother. Apparently, I have an engulfing mother. She's always been very covert and, real manipulative and, behind the scenes. She loves to manipulate people and to undermine me, behind my back, thinking that I'm not going to find out or know about it. So when you try to go no contact with an engulfing mother, this is my experience from today that I learned about, they are just going to come at you harder. An engulfing mother is one that has absolutely no boundaries whatsoever. They do not respect you in any way whatsoever. And that is completely evident throughout my life. They used to spy on me. They used to follow me when I would go out with friends, listen to my phone calls, read my diary, all that stuff. So there's no boundaries here. So engulfing mother, and she somehow views me, the engulfing mother views her daughter as being an extension of herself, rather than respecting and acknowledging her as a separate person. And when you're a baby or a young toddler, they can get away with that. But when you start to become a teenager or an adolescent, and you start trying to individualize yourself, and you become aware of your individuality, and you try to pull away from your engulfing mother, they will thwart and proactively block your efforts. They do this emphatically and subtly so that you don't even realize it, or you might not even question it. So during this time, when appropriate physical, emotional, psychological boundaries should be in place, they're not. So the engulfing mother will just read your diary, your emails, ask you overt personal questions, just intrusively barge in on you. You're in your bedroom or your bathroom, or just no respect. And then when you get older, they'll insert themselves into your marriage as well. They'll try to ask you inappropriate questions, or they'll run down your husband trying to make you unhappy with them. So I guess that's what I'm dealing with, an engulfing. But it's so weird because she's so covert when she's like cutting me down and like doing her narc thing. But she's apparently engulfing because she did not like the boundaries that I'm trying to establish. They also say that it's not unheard of for daughters to need to get restraining orders against their engulfing mothers because they'll stalk them. They'll go to any extent. They'll use tactics like parentification and or infantilization to keep you bound to them. Infantilization is when, like, no matter how old you are chronologically, they'll always treat you like a baby, like you can't live without them, that you're inept somehow as a human being, that you can't live without this narcissistic mother or parent. So a lot of people report that going no contact is the best thing they've ever done. And they start to gain their confidence. They can regain everything that you were deprived of thanks to your narcissistic mom. Like growing up, you're not a real person. They don't acknowledge you as a real person or respect you. So part of healing is exploring that, is learning who you are, asserting yourself, feeling your feelings. I dissociate like crazy. That's another video. But so if you're trying to go no contact with an engulfing mother, it's really difficult to escape, but the escape is probably the best thing that will happen to you. This is like, also, if you are able to escape them, this is something that is a natural process as you're growing up, going through adolescence and your teenage years. You learn who you are as an individual. But when you have an engulfing narcissistic mom that doesn't allow you to be yourself, you have to go through all this later in life as part of your recovery process. So I've said this is like my public therapy. So chalk this up as, another notch in that belt. If you have not followed me on Instagram, I vent most of my things there, and I'm going to try to coordinate my videos with my Instagram feeds because I love everyone that, comments and writes about their own experiences on there. It is so healing and so therapeutic to validate each other and to have compassion for what we've all undergone. So anyway, follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to my channel if you like. That would be awesome. I would greatly appreciate it. We're down, but we're not out. We are separating ourselves, asserting ourselves from our toxic, narcissistic families. And this is the first step, is educating yourself and knowing what you're dealing with. The devil you know is better than the devil you don't, right? So God bless you, and we're getting through this.